Pull the plug, my brother begged. You're torturing her. But I needed my comatose mother to see the Stranger Things finale first. My mother raised me on that show. We watched every single season together, with a plate of Eggo waffles and Christmas lights strung up in the living room. When the final season was announced, she made me promise we'd watch it together, no matter what. 4 months before the finale aired, she mysteriously fell down the basement stairs. She landed in a deep coma. The doctors diagnosed her with severe brain trauma and bluntly told us she would likely never wake up. My older brother Daniel drove in from out of state and immediately started talking about letting her go peacefully to end her suffering. The series finale was scheduled to air on New Year's Eve. I firmly told the doctors I wasn't authorizing anything until after December 31st. Daniel aggressively pulled me into the hallway, his face red and furious. What the hell is wrong with you? She's brain dead. She can't watch a TV show. I told him I made a promise and I was keeping it. You're keeping our mother alive on machines so she can watch Netflix, he snarled. Do you hear how insane that sounds? He didn't stop there. He called our aunt, uncle, and cousins, telling them I had completely lost my mind with grief. My aunt called me crying, saying keeping her alive for a television program was a disgrace. I told her she didn't know what mom would want, but I did. Daniel actually hired a lawyer and filed court paperwork claiming I was mentally unfit to make medical decisions. The hospital brought in a social worker who warned me that prolonging my mother's suffering for entertainment purposes could be considered a form of abuse. I stood my ground. I was her legal healthcare proxy. Unless a judge said otherwise, she was staying on life support until December 31st. The judge ultimately denied Daniel's emergency petition, but my brother's campaign of cruelty only escalated. He started a family group chat without me, calling me sick and selfish. My cousin sent me screenshots of Daniel writing, "She's torturing a dying woman so she can watch TV with a corpse." He gave interviews to local news about the right to die with dignity, and doctors pressured me daily with pamphlets about letting go. On December 30th, Daniel showed up at the hospital with a priest and a funeral home representative. "I've made all the arrangements so you don't have to worry about anything tomorrow," he said. I told him to get out of her room. He stepped dangerously close to my face. "You're going to regret this for the rest of your life. You'll have to live with the guilt of torturing our mother forever." On New Year's Eve, the finale finally dropped. I set up my laptop on the hospital tray table, angled it toward my mother's closed eyes, held her hand, and pressed play. Daniel sat in the corner, texting furiously, probably telling the whole family what a monster I was. Halfway through the episode, I felt my mother's fingers twitch. I thought I imagined it, but then they moved again. Her eyelids started fluttering rapidly. I screamed for a nurse. Daniel jumped up in a panic as the medical team rushed in, just as my mother's eyes shot wide open. She looked around the room, confused and terrified, until her eyes locked onto Daniel. Her entire face twisted in absolute horror. They carefully removed her breathing tube. She coughed, gagged, and finally croaked out one weak word. "Daniel." He stepped forward, crying fake tears. "Mom! Oh my God! You're awake!" She shrank back in pure terror, grabbed my arm with surprising strength, and whispered. He pushed me. The room went dead silent. Daniel laughed nervously, his face draining of color. "Mom, you're just confused because you fell down the stairs." She shook her head, her voice growing stronger. "I found the bank papers. You've been stealing from my retirement accounts for 4 years. When I confronted you, you pushed me down the stairs and left me there. You didn't call 911 for 3 hours because you wanted me to die." Daniel went completely white. "She's brain damaged. She doesn't know what she's saying." My mother looked directly at the attending doctor. "Check my phone." I recorded our entire conversation before I confronted him. "It's in my voice memos." Hospital security immediately detained Daniel while they waited for the police. The recording was exactly where she said it was. It documented 4 years of theft, totaling over $300,000. And then, clear as day, Daniel's voice hissed on the playback. "No one's going to believe a dead woman." That's exactly why he wanted her gone so badly. He fought so hard to pull the plug, because he knew if she died, the recording would die with her. The police dragged my screaming brother out of the ICU in handcuffs. My mother took a deep, shaky breath, looked at my laptop, and smiled at me. "Well, what are you waiting for? Press play."